Hello buddy and welcome to episode 28 of Brunswald. In this episode the main focus will be on creating a sort of master planned neighborhood with these new like brick apartments that were released not too long ago. But before we get into building that whole neighborhood, I wanted to work around where this road that leads to the harbor starts. At this interchange, pretty much before the retail park starts. There's been a gas station here for quite some time, and my plan has always been to have some more like fast food restaurants and stuff here. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm currently detailing this Burger King, which I put right next to this Shell gas station. And yeah, these are just behind the Bauhaus building. And I think this is a perfect spot for fast food restaurants like these, because there would be like a lot of, I don't know, there would be like a lot of traffic going here. It's close to that highway leading straight into Brunswald, and it's also close to this road leading out to the harbor. So this is just an overall good area to have these sort of restaurants at. So yeah, that was my plan, and I've upgraded this road that goes here to the new one by Kloss as well, and it just worked out perfect. It looks really good, and it fits very well into these fast food restaurants, because you don't really want to have like curbs and stuff around here. That's usually not the case in areas like these. Like they're not really that walkable either, and yeah, so but yeah, I think it turned out cool, and I put down this street sushi, I think it's called. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure who made this one, so I'm not gonna guess, but this is a really cool asset, and yeah, I've been wanting to use this one since it came out. So I've actually had it here for quite some time, just waiting to be detailed, I guess. But yeah, so this design here for the entrance to this one will be changed, because I realized that it was a better idea to actually put a real road going there, because that's where the entrance for this whole master planned neighborhood will be. So this will be a little bit changed in just a few minutes, which you'll see. But I'm doing some outside serving areas here actually, and this is pretty common to actually have, even though this is not like really a nice location. I mean, it's right at the like major or two major roads, so it wouldn't be the nicest place, but I still would imagine that there would be like some outside sitting areas and stuff in a place like this. And this drive-through is pretty weird as well. Like you have to go to the end of the building and then make like a 180-degree turn, and then just go into the drive-through. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it definitely works. But yeah, you see there, I changed the road, so it actually is an entrance for this whole neighborhood now. So we're getting into doing this, and I'm using these new brick buildings, or well, I guess they're not really that new anymore. But they're fairly new in the workshop, and I do like these a lot, and they look really nice. And when they got released, I got this idea in mind that I wanted to create a whole neighborhood with just these buildings, and the buildings would all look the same, and just like a very modern development, which has been made in recent years. Because this is sort of stuff you see, like some of these neighborhoods in real life just get built and all of the buildings look exactly the same. So currently they all have different colors, but that will be changed. All of them will have a more yellow color to them, so yeah, they'll pretty much have the exact same color. And to just sort of make it more interesting and mix this area up a little bit, I decided to put down these red parking decals here. And I wanted to just do this, as I said, to make it more interesting, because just having normal concrete parking lots around here, I don't know, I think it would have been a little bit boring. So I wanted to I wanted to put these down, and this area is sort of badly connected with biking infrastructure actually, but I will be putting down a ton of bike stands and stuff around here, which I then realized that the biking infrastructure connecting this place to Brunswald is pretty bad actually. So we'll see. I might have to do something about that, try to make some like bike path or something connecting to where the retail park starts. But we will have a bus stop here as well, so I guess maybe a lot of people would just get on the bus maybe with their bike, because that does happen. So maybe these buses that go here have like, I don't know, extra good access to for people to bring their bikes on it. I don't know, but that's just something that I realized later on, that the bike infrastructure connecting this was pretty bad. So yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. This is just in a sort of off location, like it's pretty much right at the outskirts of Brunswald. There's just like farmlands and stuff around this. So it's not really that central, but it will be well connected with a bus line. Alright, so I'm detailing the bus stop here, and I wanted to have this be, or I wanted to detail this bus stop quite a lot, because this is a pretty major thing to this whole neighborhood, the access with bus, because that's pretty much the only way to get into Brunswald without taking a car, and I definitely want people to be able to access the city without a car. So the bus stop has, or is very important for this place. As of now, where we don't have any bike paths connecting this with the rest of the city. I mean, in theory, there would be ways to sort of connect to the city from here, but a little bit sketchy, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm using more of these red parking decals, and let me know what you think about them, but I do think they look much more interesting than just having concrete and those white normal ones. But I also wanted to ask you guys something now that we're sort of approaching the end of this series, which I talked about in the last episode. I'm sort of curious to know what your like favorite build have been for this series, or what you think is the most coolest thing that we have done, or the most interesting thing. Definitely curious to know what you guys think about that. For me, maybe I don't know, I think it was a lot of fun building the coal power plants. I did think that turned out pretty nice, but I don't know, I like a lot of different stuff, so it would be pretty hard to say just one thing. But definitely let me know what's been your favorite part of Brunswald, what we've built here. So yeah, definitely let me know. But you can see here I'm putting down a lot of these like more smaller trees, and these, I guess, young trees, I guess you could say. And that is obviously because this is a modern development, or a recent development, I guess I should say. So there wouldn't be like huge trees around these buildings, because they're planted, or they would have been planted pretty recently. But I do put some bigger trees sort of as a barrier between this neighborhood and the bigger road that leads to the harbor. So there will be some bigger trees there, but the idea with that is just that they've been there before, and they didn't cut those down when they made this whole neighborhood, to sort of leave a barrier between that road and the rest of this neighborhood, which I think makes sense, definitely. And I do like how this little, I guess, community garden, you would say, where these paths are behind here. I do like how they look, or I do like the look of this from above. I think it turned out pretty nice with the trees and those pathways and stuff. And also I used the larger version of these apartments and also the small one to create, I don't know, to make it more interesting, I guess. But yeah, I'm just making a bus road here, which connects easier to this main road, and this bus line will be going from the village that we'll be working on pretty soon, which will be on the other side of the highway leading into Brunswald, up that hill. And the bus line will go from there and stop at this neighborhood, and then head in and stop like at the retail park, and then just go into the city somewhere. So it will be pretty easy access with bus into the city, which I think is nice. But then I'm just creating this extra parking lot here, because I realized that there wasn't too much parking space for this area. So I wanted to make this other one as well. And I will be making another one in the middle of that like bus road, where the bus stop is, that little empty area that we currently have. we'll be putting another parking lot there. Alright, anyway, I've been talking now for 11 minutes, so I'm gonna leave you with some music, and enjoy the music. So I'm currently working on this parking lot that I talked about in the middle of this bus road here. And yeah, as I said, I think it was needed with another parking lot here, especially because we have more like restaurants and stuff as well. But we're soon gonna get into the last part of this episode, which will be a bus depot. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time as well, because I've just had a temporary bus depot just sitting out in a random place on the map. And that always sort of annoys me to have temporary stuff like that for a long time. I mean, as I said, I've been planning to have it for a long time, a bus depot and actually detail one, but yeah, I just got around to it now, pretty much at the end of the episode. So it's been a bus depot just sitting in the map randomly for pretty much this whole series. So yeah, but what matters is that we're actually doing it now. So I'm using this one, which is a pretty small one actually, but I don't think it needs to be much bigger than this, the actual building itself. I guess there's like space for 2 buses in that building to be repaired and stuff. And I think that's enough, because this will not be really a big bus depot. But I think it will be enough for Brunswald. I mean, this is not a huge city, and I mean, we don't have that many like bus lines and stuff. And I actually want to redo all of the bus lines for this city. Yeah, just to make them more organized, because I realized that making bus lines while you're building this city they usually turn out weird, because like you realize that you shouldn't have it in the place you put it down, and then you start changing it, and it all just gets a little bit messy. And that's sort of how Brunswald is currently with the bus lines. So I'm planning on redoing all of the bus lines, and definitely let me know if you would like to see that in an episode, or if you just want it, or if you just want me to do it off camera, and maybe I can go in and, who knows, do like a live gameplay and show you all the new bus lines and stuff like that, or just have it in a time lapse. I don't know. It's totally up to you guys what you think about that. For me, it doesn't really matter. It's just that I don't know. I don't know what I would say in a commentary over making bus lines. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to decide, so definitely comment what you think about that if you're interested. Yeah, so I'm using all of this ploppable asphalt for this bus depot, and I'm using these Lion City buses by Revo, and these were like the only good ones I could find for props. I mean, there are more props for buses, but I'm actually using these in the city, so definitely makes sense to have them in the bus depot as well. One thing that is unfortunate with these bus props is that I can't change the color of them with the prop painter mod. Because the color I have of them in the city is green, and they normally just come as white when you put them down as props. I did try changing it, but these are just not compatible with the prop painter mod, which is definitely unfortunate. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know, I might have to change the bus lines or the actual buses that are running around the city to just white ones to match up with this one better. I don't know, let me know what you think about that. Just doing a lot of decal work here for this whole bus depot. I think this is pretty important, because this would probably be pretty rough with just having these big and heavy buses going around here, exiting and entering all day. So yeah, I wanted to make the ground feel pretty rough, and yeah, just using a lot of damaged decals and dirt decals, and also those tire marks I think made it look a lot better and more realistic. But yeah, so we're getting to the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. I do post screenshots and updates on those. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next one. Have a great day, and bye-bye.